Hello, hello, hello. So I am here. This is Alicia. I'm here. My guest is not. So I just wanted to join in with you. And oh, she's on her way. She is on her way. So this is Small Business Saturday Shout Out. And I'm your host, Alicia Couri. If you saw my Facebook post just 20 minutes ago, I was stuck in traffic trying to get here in time for the show. And I I made it on time, but it's one of those things where I was leaving from almost an hour away, coming down I-95, and the person I was with lives close to the turnpike. So I decided to get off of I-95 and go onto the turnpike, and got stuck in traffic on the turnpike. And got stuck in traffic on the turnpike. Oh my gosh. Hey, Reginald. Nice to see you. So I'm stuck in traffic on the turnpike. And so my MO is to start brainstorming to try to figure things out. Um, uh, Sorry. So I'm trying to brainstorm to figure things out, and so because I don't know how long this traffic is going to be. I mean, the GPS said it'll be 20 minutes, but who knows? Sometimes it goes longer and longer. Um, so I end up calling my daughter to try to get her to start the stream, just in case I'm late, and I'll do it from my car. I'm like, I'm just gonna have to do it from my car because I don't know what I'm gonna do. Anyway, finally get past the accident that was causing so much traffic, get off the turnpike onto my exit, and then police block the street that I have to turn down because the traffic lights aren't working. So I'm like, I don't think I'm supposed to get home today for this show. Anyway, here I am, made it, got through all the different obstacles along the way, and got here in time for the show. And I'm just waiting for my guest. She is hopefully logging in. She's hopefully logging in now. Um, Thank you, Reginald. Thank you so much. So I said I'm not going to cancel the show, even though I didn't. I was trying to figure it out. So it's so important. I did a workshop this past week with a company. There were 38 people in the workshop, and we talked about our strengths. That's what I was sharing with them, their strengths. And it's important to understand your strengths. It's important to know your strengths because there are strengths that you don't even know you have. And in situations like this, it helps you because it helps you understand um, what you can lean on when you have oh, thank you. When you have certain situations happen, you know what to pull from. Um, so I've been great. Thank you so much, Reginald. I was actually working up in Delray Beach today, doing hair and makeup. I don't do this very often, but I do hair and makeup with a friend. And I was in Delray Beach. I see my guest is here. I was in Delray Beach doing hair and makeup. So I was trying to get back home in time to do this show. Um, and it was a wedding today. So ended up doing that. Anyway, welcome, welcome, welcome. My guest is here. So I am going to jump right into the show. Those of you who are watching us on Facebook, thank you so very much for joining us today. If you are on Facebook, please consider joining our group. It is facebook.com/groups/SBSSO. And in that group, you can promote your business. You can promote whatever it is you have and share that in that group. In addition, if you are on YouTube, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/c/. Alicia Couri. We would appreciate that. And I just want to let you know that this show is sponsored today by FAMU Mary. And FAMU Mary is all about the education of the legal use of medical marijuana here in the state of Florida. So you can go to https://Mary, that's mmeri.famu.edu. And if you go to Talk the State of Cannabis in America, you can join their weekly radio program. So go to mary.famu.edu for more information. If you'd like to sponsor a show or be a guest on the show, then go ahead and drop us an email at support@aliciacouri.com. All right. So I am super excited to bring my guest on to the show. So let's get started. Welcome back to Small Business Saturday Shoutout. I'm your host, Alicia Couri, and my guest today is Zuriel Gibson. So let me share a little bit about Zuriel. She is the CEO of the Gibson Lupus Arc and Zuriel Gibson Inc. She is coined the Loopy Chick on the go. Zuriel won her first pageant title as the 2013 Miss United America first runner-up and has graced other runways, including the Rockstar Runway. She's modeled for designers such as Mishi, Newsry, E-Lady, and All For You Boutique, and appeared as a guest model in the video Walk Like a Model by artist Miss Ray. Zuriel was honored as an award recipient for the Real Housewives of Houston, featured in Houston Style magazine with Gibson Lupus Arc 411 magazine, Voyage Houston, and the Real Housewives of Houston Golden Publications. Zuriel will also be featured in the new television series based in New Orleans called Jezebel. She is an amazing woman. The doctors diagnosed Zuriel with lupus and said that she wouldn't live past the age of 24. And she is here today with us. And I believe she is past 24. Welcome to the show, Miss Zuriel Gibson. How are you?
Hello, hello, hello. I'm great. Thank you so much for having me. You gotta forgive me. The heat is not my friend. Anybody in my position understands heat. We don't do heat.
I know.
Over here in Houston, I mean, we're at record-breaking temperatures, and I'm
Oh
like,
my
oh my gosh, it's a whole different type of summer. I shouldn't have came out my house. Like, really.
Oh no. Oh no. And I know we had a little bit of a time mix up because I'm in Eastern time and you're in Central time, and you thought the show was 6 p.m. your time and it's 6 p.m. my time. So that's why we had
Right.
a little bit of a mix up with the timing today. But share with us, share with the audience first of all, what is lupus? So people have an understanding of that. And then what is your foundation all about?
So, lupus itself is an autoimmune disorder. Your immune system was basically built for your body to recognize any foreign bacteria. Bacteria meaning, the flu, the cold, common symptoms like that. Instead of recognizing that as foreign and attacking it and killing it, it looks at your own body as that foreign object, therefore tries to attack and kill all the healthy tissues you have in you. And when I say all, I mean all, because there's different kinds of lupus, from the skin to the brain to the heart to the kidneys, excuse me, but it hits everybody differently.
Wow.
So that's what lupus is, just on layman terms, and how I broke it down and was able to understand it. And so I was diagnosed in 97, right after I graduated high school. So my life, I thought that was just getting started, came to abrupt, hold on, chica.
No.
So yes. So I went through a major roller coaster, from emotionally to physically to mentally, spiritually, all of that, trying to understand my life, because I really felt alone in the whole process. So
Mm.
in that process, coming out of the other side, because like you said, the doctor said I would pass away at 24. So after my 24th
Hold on
birthday.
just a second, because that is such a cruel thing to do to a young person. I mean, you
Yeah.
were just 18, 17, 18, getting out of high school, and they tell you you only have what, 5, 6 years to live.
Well, I was actually 20 when they told me I had 4 years left.
Oh, wow. Wow. What does
Yes.
that do to someone?
Mentally, it makes you paranoid. So I hadn't really lived life. So of course, I got diagnosed with the disease that's supposed to, take me out. And then you actually give me a death date. And I'm like,
Yeah.
you know,
Is
so
there
I'm
is there a specific date when I turn 24, or is it on my birthday? Like,
yeah, exactly
what's
right.
going to happen?
So I like trying to do the best I can with my life, be big and bad. I grew up with a strict parent. So with the chains off, you thinking you free to the world. I'm gonna do any and everything I can. And then after this diagnosis, is like I'm gonna shove it all into these little years because I have no idea, well, what's out there.
Oh my
I wasn't
God.
able to do a whole lot. So it, I mean, how do you get past that, really? But
Yeah.
at the end of that, I turned 24, and then I'm like, okay, I'm 24. Well, I made it to 25, and I'm like, wait a minute, I'm still
He
here.
didn't come knocking. The Green
He
Reaper didn't knock on my door.
he
Wait a
didn't
minute.
knock on my door. I didn't see no door. I mean, I was living an okay life, and I felt peace within myself. So I'm like, I'm still here. What do I do now?
You're right.
You know, by the
I
grace
didn't
of God,
plan for 25. I didn't make any plans for 25. Listen.
made none, no plans whatsoever, right? So I'm like, I gotta do something with my life. I mean, I'm still here, you know? So on the other side of things, I started coming out of my fog, and coming out of my fog, I started to realize that there were so many organizations out there who are willing to help people with lupus patients. And I did not know
Mm,
these people were out there as I was going through my struggles. So it was my mission when I first started up, expose all of these organizations. I'm not the only person who felt alone and going through all of this. Why not tell the world, hey,
right.
there's people out here? Because I'm single. I had no kids, no marriage, no real relationship or anything. So I'm trying to make it work for myself, which means which means I I needed somebody. I wasn't the only person that needs somebody. I mean, I know there's a lot of people that get support, but what about the people that don't? So
Mm,
it was my mission to like tell the world, hey, you can do more except for wait on a cure. There are people who are willing to show you what to do instead of just sitting in your own little corner having your own pity party.
right.
So I started in that way of just saying, when people's like, well, do you know such and such? I may not know, but I'll find out. And I found people different places that they could go to get the help they need, whether it was a support group or, somebody had a list of doctors in their area or somebody needed help coming out of the hospital. I mean, I stayed on the phone. I had cleared up from my brain fog, all that stuff I was going through and couldn't remember. All of a sudden, it just started coming to me. So when people called,
Right.
I was like, "Hey, you got something over there? Hey, you got something over there?" And that's really how all this started within my organization. That was the beginning of things.
So, what does the ARC stand for?
Autoimmune Resource Center.
So, you are an autoimmune resource center, because there are many autoimmune diseases, not just lupus. So,
Correct.
do you
Well,
just
let me to
focus?
speak on that. Lupus leaves you open for a lot of different diseases. And
Mm,
unfortunately, you get diagnosed with the popular disease and not the bottom line disease to help fix you. So that's why I added autoimmune, because it's very rare that you find somebody with lupus and not have any other autoimmune disorder to add on to it.
so, I have a cousin that was diagnosed with lupus, and she had to have a kidney transplant, because you talked about different types of lupus, which I didn't realize that there were multiple strains, so to speak, of lupus. Wow.
Yeah, actually, there's actually a there's a drug induced lupus. There's discoid, which is of the face. There's one that deals with your kidneys mostly. There's
Hmm.
one for babies, neonatal, and then of course the major one that just really focuses on your organs, eating your organs out and just doing whatever it's trying to do, and that's SLE, systemic.
Wow. All right. So you are a resource center. Let me share with everyone your contact info because I want people to get in touch with you. So if you hear anyone who has been diagnosed with an autoimmune disease or lupus and they need some resources, or just what do I do? I just got diagnosed, you know, much like you were, and you were like, now what am I supposed to do with this? Um, connect with Zuriel. So she is at Gibson Lupus ARC on Facebook, at Zuriel Gibson on Inc. Am I pronouncing your name right?
It's Zurel.
Zuriel.
Zurel.
Zuriel. See, I
Yeah.
felt like I felt it in my bones that I wasn't doing it right. Zuriel. And then Instagram, Zuriel Gibson, CEO, and Twitter, Lupus Advocate. So go, whichever is your most, you, the what is it, the social media that you use the most, and connect with her, because honestly, there are people in your life that will be um, hit with an autoimmune diagnosis. What is this? Do you have any statistics on how many people are diagnosed with an autoimmune disease?
Well, not with autoimmune. We're still actually trying to run some new numbers on that. I just got connected with someone who's helping me with that. But I know in past statistics, it's like 16,000 people a year that get diagnosed with lupus.
Mm.
And, a while back, there was like 5 million worldwide, but you can just imagine what that number is if 16,000 get diagnosed a year, what that number
Every
is
year.
now. So, we're doing a lot of new things. We're doing a lot of new things in the organization now. Yes, we help people find things, but right now we're teaching, we have a lot of educational things. People with lupus or some type of autoimmune disorder, not everybody can work a regular 9 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
So me being an empowerment coach, I help people get beyond what it is they have, what they're going through mentally as they're going through physically, to help them find what they need to find to be able to make sure that they feel like a successful person in society and not just a hindrance on whoever's supporting them.
Yeah,
We're
that's
also
so
doing
true.
research to for people to find the different research so the doctors can find different medications that can actually help people with lupus. Well, I mean, it's just several things that are going on that we're doing. So I encourage everybody to go to the website and see what it is that we're doing to help out the community. We help out people who are trying to help somebody support somebody else. Nobody's
What is
looking
the
for
website?
pity. We're just looking for support.
Right. What's the website?
GibsonLupusARC.org.
So is does lupus disproportionately affect African Americans versus other ethnicities?
It affects everybody, but we're at the top of the list.
Mm. So, I mean, because like diabetes, we tend to find a lot of people in the African American community, they have a higher rate of diabetes, and diabetes is
Correct.
another one of those autoimmune diseases that can also, because it's an autoimmune disease, so you can have lupus and also have diabetes.
Correct. So, in the lupus community, we are at the top of the list. A lot of times, here lately, that I'm hearing the stories that I'm hearing, if somebody has a drop of African American blood in them, they ask them, "Have you been diagnosed? Have you been tested for lupus?"
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
So listen, this is serious, folks. So go ahead and check out the website. It is gibsonlupusarc.org. And I'm going to put your contact information up again. Connect with Zuriel Gibson on Facebook, on Instagram, or on Twitter, because they have a lot of resources for lupus. And tell us about your, I know we should be wrapping up, but tell us about your pageant. Are you still doing pageants, or are you like,
Yes. So actually, I actually started a lupus pageant, an international lupus pageant, because lupus goes across the globe, right? So we do that every October. Again, look at the website. We do it every October where we have a chance to highlight so many different people in so many different areas abroad and in the States to just honor them. And then we have a winner who goes to Mr. We have a Mr. and Mr.
Oh,
and Mrs. to be able to move forward and represent the organization and be that lupus ambassador for us.
very cool. So it is not just for women only, folks. So you can go
Yeah.
check out the website, gibsonlupusarc.org, and get some more information on the pageant, whether you're male or female. And, sometimes we need some encouragement and we need to have fun, even in the midst of our trials. So this is a great opportunity to have some levity and enjoy your life,
Yes.
because like you said, at 24, when you were expecting the grim reaper to come knocking on your door, didn't show up, and then you're like, now what do I do with the rest of my life? Right? I'm still alive, what do I do? So we have to create balance, because it's not all, I'm sick and I just have to be sick. No, we have to learn how to live life too. So as you are an amazing example of that,
Thank
showing
you.
people how to live and live a full and complete life, even if you were diagnosed with an autoimmune disease. So, is there anything else you'd like to share with our audience before we conclude our interview today?
Remember that whatever you're diagnosed with does not have to be your death sentence. At the end of the
Mm,
day, it is up to you how you live your life. One, we all die eventually. It's how you die is up to you. I mean, how you live and until you die is up to you.
yeah.
So I encourage you to live your life to the fullest because you never know who you impact before you say goodbye.
I love that. And you always talk about transforming your pain, so into purpose. So
Yes,
that is something that you are very passionate about doing as well. Taking your
correct.
pain and transforming it into purpose. And you've done that with your foundation. You've done it with the pageant. You've done that with so many things, for the community, for the lupus community, and for yourself. So bravo to you.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. I'm so glad I messaged you and we were able to get you on
I
today.
know, right?
Oh, that would have been tragic if you showed up at 7 and the show was done. Anyway,
I'm
thank you so much
like,
for
wait,
joining
but
us.
I shouldn't have missed it. Oh my gosh. I was
I
like, yeah, okay.
know. Thank you so much for joining us today and for reaching out. You were one of those that raised your hand when I said, "Who wants to be a guest on Small Business Saturday Shout Out?" You raised your hand, and thank you so much for joining us today. Don't forget, go to gibsonlupusarc.org.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, all right, all right. Well, thank you so much, Zuriel. Let's take a quick break and we'll be back in 1 second.
FAMU's Mary educates diverse communities about medical marijuana and the consequences of illegal marijuana use in Florida. Hear advice from leaders in your community. Listen to the podcast, watch the video cast to know all the facts. Follow Mary Forum Radio on social. Take the free basic education course and test your knowledge. Find answers to all of your marijuana questions and visit mary.famu.edu. That's mmeri.famu.edu. And join the conversation. Mary, educate, learn, talk.
Well, thank you so much. This has been another phenomenal episode of Small Business Saturday Shout Out. If you would like to be a guest on any of our shows, please join us. So send an email. I'm going to put it up. Send an email to support@aliciacouri.com. There we go. Support@aliciacouri.com. And we will send you out the link to book for the show. You can also join our group. If you join our Small Business Saturday Shout Out group, you can always respond to one of our posts about seeking guests. and just join our group, facebook.com/group/SBSSO. Remember, you can promote if you have a business, if you have a program coming up, you can always promote it in that group. We allow you to promote yourself and your small business in this group. And if you want a shout out, there are 3 ways you get a shout out on the show. One is by leaving comments during the show. The second way is, of course, you can send us a 30-second commercial, and that would be a sponsorship. And you send that commercial and we play it, and your business gets a shout out that way. And the third way you get a shout out is to be a guest on the show. So we would love to have you as a guest on Small Business Saturday Shout Out. If you'd like to connect with me, you can, if you're on Instagram, you can go to the Alicia Couri or Audacious Confidence, and that's on Instagram as well as Facebook. On Twitter, we're the Alicia Couri and Red Carpet CEO. And on LinkedIn, I'm Alicia Couri. You can search for me there. Don't forget to give us a like, subscribe on YouTube at youtube.com/c/Alicia Couri. Thank you so much. I will be back on Monday. We have our Unleash Your Audacious Confidence show on Monday on winwinwomen.tv. So go check us out 5 p.m. Eastern time on winwinwomen.tv. And this Monday, I am speaking with my guest all about self-mastery. Yes, that's a big one. She was on Love My Body, Love Myself this past Wednesday. She had a brain hemorrhage and was able to take the steps of self-mastery that she wrote in her book and continue to heal herself through the process after having a brain hemorrhage and then a stroke. And her story is phenomenal. Her tips, she's going to share tips on self-mastery during the show on Monday night, and how you can start mastering your mind, mastering yourself, understanding how to take control of those thoughts. So I'm looking forward to that interview, and I want to invite you to check us out. And then, of course, Love My Body, Love Myself on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern. So I hope you enjoyed our show today. I will see you next time for another episode. And don't forget, you can be a guest. So just email us or DM me or ping me in some way that you want to be a guest on Small Business Saturday Shout Out, and we will send you the link to book. So it's very easy to be a guest on the show if you desire to be a guest. So come on over. So until next time, I will see you all for another episode of Small Business Saturday Shout Out. Bye, everybody.